For those of you who didn't know, Charlie Kirk gets no empathy from me. And it's okay not to feel anything for someone who placed the target on the backs of black people. All of you who are claiming that Charlie Kirk was a man of God and a man of faith, and let me ask you this. How is it that his message is resonating with members of white supremacist hate groups who also claims to be men of God? You say that the Democrats started the KKK. But here we are trying to celebrate the life of a man who spewed KKK talking points on a public stage. Tell me where I'm wrong. Where am I wrong? Prove me wrong on that one. Don't tell me to have an open mind about racist rhetoric that he was putting out there and making it mainstream. You can't have an open mind about intolerance. You cannot have an open mind for intolerance. The attitudes that you're having about the black people who are celebrating, or people in general, because it's not just black people that you see celebrating online. You see a lot of members on the left celebrating online. I'm a right winger. I'm not celebrating, but I damn sure ain't mourning. Yeah, I'm a right winger, but I damn sure ain't mourning over that man. And why should I? What up, Notre Dame? What's going on, no name? Let's get it, Brother Ricky. To answer that question, hell no. Will not celebrate, but nor will I mourn. Exactly. Exactly. So the attitudes and the nasty attitudes that y'all see about people who are celebrating his downfall should be applied to the people who are violently calling for revenge. Yeah, there are people violently calling for revenge for what happened to Charlie Kirk, when the people who are they calling revenge for were not even involved in that situation. You should be applying that attitude towards the people who are making threats on Democratic politicians. You should be applying that rage towards the people who are threatening black churches and HBCUs. This morning in South Carolina, there are a lot of black churches who have armed security right now because of threats they received last week. There are black churches with armed security right now. There are college campuses, black college campuses, that are armed right now. Black people are walking around with their heads on a swivel because of the nasty attitudes that are going around after Charlie Kirk's death. And no black person pulled the trigger. Those are the people who are not helping your case when you try to tell me that Charlie Kirk did not spread a message of hatred and division. They're not helping your case. That's where the attitude needs to be applied. That's who Donald Trump needs to be making a list of. He needs to be making a list of these right-wing extremists that are going around threatening people and threatening to take the lives of people because they celebrated Charlie Kirk's death. That's practicing freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is not just for right-wingers. Freedom of speech is for everybody. The Constitution is for everybody. Yeah, all of that patriotic bullshit goes out the window when you get offended. All of that love for the Constitution bullshit goes right out the motherfucking window when you get offended. You can offend other people. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say. But whenever someone says what the fuck they want to say, now all of a sudden it's a problem. Now all of a sudden you're being a fucking snowflake. Now all of a sudden you're being a crybaby. Now all of a sudden you're being over emotional. Isn't that what you claim that the left does? Over here having meltdowns on social media over words? Y'all over here cucking for Kirk. That's what I call y'all, cucking for fucking Kirk. Let me read my chat room real quick. Why was his wife crying on his body and recording it? It looked staged. You know, they're doing anything for a photo op right now, man. What up, Freddy? Is that even legal? Well, we're living on a tyrannical regime. I never would have thought that Donald Trump or anybody on the Republican side of this house would be screaming for a tyrannical regime. Yeah, the liberals were right about this one. The liberals were right. Goddamn. Donald Trump made a truth teller out of the liberals. Motherfucker. Donald Trump made a truth teller out of these liberals. I'm conservative and he spewed too much hate and way too many lies, gaslighting. Why hasn't Trump come out and denounced the threats against HBCUs? Did he denounce the train incident? Did Donald Trump announce? Yeah, he announced that train. Denounced that train. Well, he announced the train incident. So yeah, Donald Trump, I want to hear you call people animals and thugs and violent criminals doing animalistic behavior when they're talking about threatening HBCUs and when they're talking about threatening churches where people go to get an education to be better Americans, where people go to get spiritual guidance to be better Americans. It's people on this side of the aisle that's doing that shit. Don't come to me about, I'm going after people celebrating Charlie Kirk, when Charlie Kirk is the one who put this kind of rhetoric out there and made this shit mainstream. Taria Rain, what's going on? Good to see you here. They're crashing out all over Twitter, creating networks to get people fired for saying what they thought of Charlie Kirk. One even went as far as trying to get someone fired for quoting Charlie Kirk. Sorry, bro, I lost a sub. Too bad. Fuck you. I don't give a fuck about losing subs. I don't give a fiddle flying fuck about losing subs. I'm not here to fucking be your fuck boy. And I won't apologize for anything I motherfucking say. So you can kiss my ass forever. I'm leaving. I don't want to be a part of this no more. Oh, well, do you know I'm making more money this month on YouTube than I've ever made before? For telling the truth, sticking by my principles? I guess the universe is rewarding me for staying true to my game. It always does. You're right. They never give anyone black that same courtesy. Exactly. It was okay to talk shit about Trayvon Martin. It was okay to talk shit about George Floyd. It was okay to talk shit about Ahmaud Arbery, right? But it's not okay to talk shit about Charlie Kirk, who perpetuated that hatred towards the people I just named. Huh. But you want to talk about, I'm unsubscribing. Unsubscribe, motherfucker. I don't want to be around you anyway. Is Trump not the president of all Americans? I supported his orange behind, and now I feel dumb. You and I both. You and I both. Boy, did I not get my nigga wake-up call this week. Boy, did I not get my nigga wake-up call this week. I heard people saying, Ricky, one day you're going to get your nigga wake-up call. I never expected a nigga wake-up call. Why? Because I never liked troglodytes anyway. I've always spoke against both sides of the political aisle. But my nigga wake-up call didn't come to me online. It came to me offline. You know what I'm saying? Will they sell the gun that killed Charlie Kirk like they did for Zimmerman? Right. Will that gun be up for auction? You see how sick that is? Yeah, somebody auctioned off that rifle that killed Charlie Kirk. That would be sick, wouldn't it? Now you see how sick it was for a motherfucker to auction off a gun that took the life of a 17-year-old kid. Motherfuckers doing damn tours around the country, signing bags of Skittles. Kiss my motherfucking ass. I don't give a fuck about being liked by a troglodyte. Because of getting love from a troglodyte means that I gotta hate myself, then you can keep that shit. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And on that note, a lot of y'all who are out here cucking for Kirk, y'all got family members that y'all didn't feel anything for when they passed. Either because you knew what they knew, you knew about them, who they were in their real lives. They made your lives a living hell. Some of you out here cucking for Kirk have parents that you didn't grieve for when they passed because they either were abusive to you or made you go out and get a job when it was time to be responsible. There are a lot of you out here cucking for Kirk that have abusive spouses that you didn't feel anything for when they passed. And you have nothing good to say about them because they made your life a living hell. But you're crying for a man and expect me to cry with you for someone you never met just because you like the way they talked over the internet? Don't expect me to see that man's humanity when in his world, my humanity was up for debate as a black man. And that's not me playing a victim. That's me appealing to you playing a victim. Josh Byrne, thank you for the $5 super chat. Boy, these butter biscuits are good today. Boy, these butter biscuits are good today. Hey, and for all of you out here cucking for Kirk, I got one thing I want to say to you. Please, for the love of God, spare me about me taking the talking points of Charlie Kirk out of context. All right? If I'm at a railroad crossing, right? I'm parked at a railroad crossing, the gates go down, and I hear a train approaching. Should I proceed through that railroad crossing because it just might not be a train approaching? Or do I just forget what happens to cars when they collide with a 100,000-ton metal object? So when a man says that he's skeptical to fly on a plane when he sees a black pilot, is there any other motherfucking way to take it? Is there any other motherfucking way to take it? The same person who says that George Zimmerman was not guilty because he was found not guilty by a jury of his peers, but O.J. Simpson is guilty, who was also found not guilty by a jury of his peers. The same person who says that he celebrates freedom, but trashes Juneteenth, which is not only a day that celebrates freedom, but celebrates America correcting one of its biggest crimes against humanity. Is there any other way to take that man's mindset when it came to black people? So no, black folks, you don't got to feel empathy for him. I won't condemn you if you celebrate, but you ain't got to feel no motherfucking empathy for that motherfucker. You got to be out of your goddamn mind if you expect me to empathize with a fucking racist. Shit, no. My grandfather was right when he said that a white man could never see the world through the eyes of a black man. And when I was a teenager, I thought he was just being old-fashioned and bitter from the time that he grew up in. I thought he was being bitter. I'm like, because I hung out, I was probably one of two black people in my friend circle growing up. And I was like, man, come on, man. These people ain't like that, Pops. These people ain't like that. But lo and behold, Friday, I get a phone call from somebody that I knew since I was in middle school. Somebody that used to go hunting with me. Someone that used to go to the NASCAR tracks with me. Someone that I would spend the night over their house, they would spend the night over mine. Calling me up, telling me that they didn't like what my YouTube page had to say about Charlie Kirk and how I could be so cold and cruel about a man of God, a kind man of God. That same person my grandfather warned me about. We were getting ready to go to the skating rink one night. And my grandfather said, don't trust him. He's still white. He'll never see the world through your eyes. He caught us play fighting in the front yard one day. And he says, you out there play fighting with him. One day he's going to hit you for real. And he's going to say he's sorry for hitting you for real. But in the back of his mind, he meant to do it. Shortly after high school, he had a crush on the same girl that I had a crush on. The girl chose me over him. One day we're sitting out in the yard. We had our drink on us. We were drinking. Hey, Ricky, let's throw down. We're sitting there play fighting. He hit me for real. Oh, my bad, my bad. Come to find out, this motherfucker had a crush on the same girl. Now, keep in mind, he had a better car than I did, came from more money than I came from. He had it all. He was trying to figure out how he lost. And he had the nerve to call me up Friday. Ricky, how could you say such a horrible thing about Charlie Kirk? The same people who are telling black people not to be sensitive snowflakes are the same ones being sensitive snowflakes right now. You got people out there threatening to harm people if they see them celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. You're ready to throw your life away because someone said words. Aren't you the same troglodytes who tells black people not to get violent over words? Huh? What up, Nix? I didn't see you slip into the room. Where did you get radically? Where did I get radically? What's going on, Ruben Nava? Yeah, stick around. We're about to talk. We're about to talk. Yeah, the trolls are in full force. So if you got a fucking hammer, wrench by your name, y'all know what to do with them wrenches. Yeah, what did Charlie Kirk say about Simone Biles? Now, while he was over here perpetuating hate and perpetuating the American people to hate black people, China was meeting with the Taliban. And I was screaming from the rooftops, hey, China's meeting with the Taliban. We don't need to be talking about Simone Biles. We're about to lose 20 years of military progress in the Middle East. 2 weeks later, lo and fucking behold, we lost that. We lost that 20 years of progress in the Middle East. And while all these troglodytes were over here talking about Simone Biles, our nation was getting robbed. Our nation was getting robbed. So if I say fuck Charlie Kirk, they're just words, right? Because you can call me the N-word and it's just a word. I shouldn't get violent and I shouldn't get upset. So I can tell you, fuck Charlie Kirk. No need to let your emotions react without the benefit of intellect. So if you're upset that someone says fuck Charlie Kirk, then it's you who are taking what they're saying out of context. You can start a conversation the wrong way and denote everything you say afterwards just by the way you started that conversation. While you're bringing up Charlie Kirk's name next to MLK, were you ready to cancel John Wayne movies? John Wayne celebrated when MLK caught a bullet. Why am I wasting my time trying to have a rational conversation with irrational people? Yeah, freedom of speech. Trolls are hurt because facts don't care about their feelings. Right. 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 Facts don't care about your feelings. Now, there are some of you who will come to Charlie Kirk's defense by showcasing us members of Charlie Kirk's chitlin circuit. That's what I call them. Y'all know who all of you in the chat room, just type in some members of Charlie Kirk's chitlin circuit. That's what I call these damn black folks out here on social media talking about Charlie Kirk was a racist. That was Charlie Kirk's chitlin circuit. Right, Nix. Whether if it's Charlie, Jesse Lee Peterson, Whitlock Tatum, or Cowboy Clown, they've always have the highest views on anti-black content. Yeah, Charlie Kirk's chitlin circuit. We know the members of Charlie Kirk's chitlin circuit. Do we not? We don't know the members of Charlie Kirk's chitlin circuit. Tatum is the damn star of the show in Charlie Kirk's chitlin circuit. He's the feature. But it's always funny when these clowns talk about, yeah, Charlie Kirk was a racist. These are the same motherfuckers who go out and regurgitate racist rhetoric. Oh, shit. You see what happened with Charleston White? I don't know what happened with Charleston White. I know he had some ill sentiments towards Charlie Kirk too. But there are some of you who will come to Charlie Kirk's defense by showcasing members of Charlie Kirk's chitless circuit. Y'all will come to Charlie Kirk's defense by saying, see, Ricky, he's not racist. Look at what this black person had to say about Charlie Kirk. What's up, Lawrence? It's always good to see you. Hey, Lawrence, you got a wrench? We got Charles in the room today. You know what to do. Yeah, I remember that, Skip. And that was something that needed to happen because Vivek needs to realize that these troglodytes don't like him either. They only like what he says. But yeah, there's a lot of you who will come to Charlie Kirk's defense, and the first thing you do is point us to members of his chitlin circuit. Are you not practicing a form of racism by tokenizing people based on their skin color? Are you not really, come on now. Are you not practicing a form of racism by tokenizing people based on their skin color? See, tokenizing people based on their skin color in politics is a no longer effective method. It's a no longer effective method. We laugh at motherfuckers like that. If anything, that is it's offensive, and at worst, and it's laughable at best. Are you dumb enough to believe that those black people won't say or do anything for the right price? Are you really that dumb? I mean, I thought that, y'all white supremacists say that, white people built Western world civilization. So are you dumb enough to believe that these black people in Charlie Kirk's chitlin circuit won't say anything for the price? Are you dumb enough to believe that? I'm curious to know. You believe they're being sincere? You believe they're being sincere when they turn on their webcams and make viral TikToks talking about, we're going to miss you, Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was not racist. Y'all just had him wrong. Y'all was just taking his words out of context. Y'all really believe that shit? Y'all are so fucking lame that you got to pay not so cool black people to be cool. Not all black people are cool. You find the nerdiest black people to call them cool. I mean, you find these soft shoe shuffling sharecroppers to call cool. They're not even respected in Black America. So how the fuck do you think they're going to have any kind of impact on the vote of Black America? They're not even respected. The black people that y'all have to put up there in front of you, those shoe shuffling sharecroppers, they're not even respected in Black America. Bella ciao, Bella ciao, Bella ciao, ciao, ciao. I mean, come on. That song's just been running through my head all day. I was listening to some classic rock, classical music last night, and that one came up on my playlist. These people are not even cool. They're not even respected amongst black people. You think Officer Tatum could go out there and drum up votes for Donald Trump? You think any of those shoe shuffling sharecroppers that was at that debate against that one radical feminist could drum up votes for Donald Trump? Really? Really? There's a reason that I was approached with a contract by conservative media. There's a reason. Because these people didn't have it in them. I don't come off as a shoe shuffling sharecropper. You know what I'm saying? I'm talented. I'm witty. I can converse with anybody about anything. They wanted me. And I refused. I'm a very talented actor. For those of you who didn't know that are new to my channel, I'm a very talented actor. I could crown command, and I could get so deep into my character that you would think that I was the guy I was scripted to be. I was fortunate enough to be offered some good paying opportunities, but I had enough self-respect to turn them down. Let's talk about that real quick. The reason that you didn't see me on a Netflix series 4 years ago is because I refused a role to make out with a transgender person. They needed someone of my physique, my skin color, and my build to play that role. I said hell to the no. I'm not making out with a transgender person on camera. I can't get into a character like that because I don't move that way. You feel me? My agent told me if I refused that role, that it would be hard for her to find me another role in the industry. I hung up the phone. I haven't talked to her since. When my kids look at me, I want my kids to look at me in the same way that I looked at my father and my grandfather. To me, those men were the textbook definition of alpha males, and I wanted to one day grow up and be like them. I'm still working on it. I am not closed-minded because I kept my virtues about myself. They found another black person to play that role because the money was worth more than their own personal values, in my opinion. The other opportunity that I've told you about already, for those of you who are new to this channel, I'll tell you about this other opportunity that I talked about 3 years ago, went viral on TikTok for telling the truth about this. I could have been that guy that you see regularly on Fox News and could have had a platform larger than the one that I have now. I was approached because of my rebel flag backdrop and my conservative views. My rebel flag backdrop wasn't meant to offend anyone. I was trying to educate people on the history of the post-antebellum South and what the true intentions of the War of Northern Aggression was, which some of you guys call a civil war. However, my mission wasn't to offend anyone, but bring some understanding to American history that isn't taught to us in textbooks. However, my prospecting agent at the time wanted me to be overly offensive and create shock value posts that would offend people. I could have sold my business and not had to worry about anything for the rest of my life with the kind of money they were offering. These people made my first TikTok account grow over 1 million followers. I could post a video on that account at breakfast and have over 1 million views by lunchtime. The donations that I got from that account alone gave me enough to land myself in a new tax bracket. I got myself out of a new lease on top of that, in a 2020 Ford F-150, and put myself in the seat of a brand new Chevy Camaro with that kind of money. Then it came down to the time to sign the contract. I can't lie. At first, I was all for it. My wife told me not to sign that contract. Ricky, don't sign that contract. Ricky, don't sign that contract. She told me how dangerous it could be for me and the family. She told me that I do well enough to not, in my, my hustles, that I don't have to take that kind of money. She's like, money's not the problem. What is it? Because you want to be an actor, your name will always go down in the history books as someone who did this bullshit with Donald Trump. Your name will always go down in the history books as a sellout. You will have no integrity when it's over and done with. And she also told me that when I grew a conscience and doing this dumb shit got to me and speak my real point of view, that the same people who were cheering me on will end up killing me. I didn't think about the danger, and I really wasn't worrying about that when I was looking at the money that I was being offered. So the night before I was supposed to drive to Atlanta, I didn't sleep a wink. I keep an ancestral shrine in this house right here next to my gun cabinet. That's a subject for another video. Every black person needs to have an ancestral shrine in their house, by the way. The night before I was supposed to leave, I heard footsteps walking around this house. Doors were slamming. Things were falling off the counter in my kitchen. My wife, on the other hand, slept like a baby. When we woke up the next morning, I told her what happened the night before. She thought that I was crazy. Needless to say, I did not sign that contract. And hindsight being 2020, I'm glad I didn't. I'm a conservative, but I'm an old school conservative. I don't recognize this new age of conservatism where shock value for clicks, likes, and views has become the trend. MAGA has become something that is not of the Republican Party. This shit is tyrannical. We have people claiming to be Republicans that are now co-signing for martial law. People are claiming to be advocates of free speech that are now doxing people who are celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Charlie Kirk spent his entire career being openly offensive and unapologetic with his bigoted takes. Were people being doxed when they agreed with those openly bigoted takes? Donald Trump is pushing for our country to fall into an authoritarian regime. Charlie Kirk was one of the people who openly co-signed this, and he was that close to the president. He was so close to the president that the president is pretty much giving this man a fucking 21-gun salute as if he's a war hero. The older people, or should I say the older troglodytes, the only reason they're upset about Charlie Kirk's death is because Charlie Kirk was their way of making bigotry hip and cool to a younger audience. So if Charlie Kirk preached a message of love and acceptance, then why are so many people ready to take up arms to get revenge on the left? That's that dangerous talk right there. If his message is resonating with the white supremacist hate groups, then how was he preaching a message of love? Somebody answer that for me. Why are we not talking about the mass shooting that happened the same day that the world witnessed Charlie Kirk take a bullet on stage? It was a mass shooting that happened that same day. And both shooters were indoctrinated by far-right rhetoric over the internet. Charlie Kirk served as a gateway to radical right-wing extremism by making his bigotry palatable with a well-polished appearance, scholastic words, and a pretentious Christian undertone. If something had happened to one of these leftist podcasters and Joe Biden comprised a list of right-wingers celebrating the fall of that podcaster, the story would be a lot different with you so-called conservatives, and you fucking know it. We'd have to hear you MAGA zombies talking about tyranny and communism. Don't tread on me. You'd be quick to bring up freedom of speech and how someone is trying to control you. So after this administration, the last thing I want to hear from you troglodytes is any rhetoric of overreach from the left. And I told you guys, that pendulum is so far right that when that motherfucker swings back left, you're going to see what fucking tyranny looks like. Ricky, I had to hide someone who said you look trans. That's a comment you should have kept. I look trans. Do I look trans to y'all motherfuckers? But yeah, these motherfuckers talking about government overreach. What we're seeing right now is government overreach. You're trying to censor free speech from people who didn't agree with Charlie Kirk's bigoted views. This man had the privilege of being unapologetic and smug for his entire career. Yet you're ready to ruin someone else for doing the same. And I just knew that some of you would be blaming Nick Fuentes and the Groypers for Charlie Kirk's downfall. I knew it. It's a battle going on between Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens right now. You can agree to disagree, but deleting someone is not how you do things. You can agree to disagree, and having someone fired from their job is not the way to do things. As a conservative, that's the stance that I had when the lefties were doing it, and as a true conservative and as a true patriot and as a true believer in the United States Constitution, that's the stance that I have now. Doxing someone because you see they're celebrating Charlie Kirk, come the fuck on. Oh, Dustin, what's going on, man? That's my homeboy right there. Y'all got to follow his channel. He's trying to grow his YouTube channel. He's a gamer and whatnot. Me and him go way back, man. And ex-U.S. service member as well. Hoorah, Marine Corps. The question's so stupid making it about race. Family may have been a Trump supporter, so who would have had a better influence on him if his family were Trump supporters? Who would have had a better influence on him? His parents or Charlie Kirk? This man came from a MAGA family, right? So are you saying that MAGA parents are fuck-ups? Charlie Kirk's shooter came from a MAGA family. And it's funny because Charlie Kirk's shooter had something in common with the Florida State shooter. The Florida State shooter was a follower of Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk, the person who shot Charlie Kirk, said that Charlie Kirk is not far right enough. Another thing is, both of them are children of law enforcement officers. Come on now. Let's be real. So are you trying to say that all furries are fuck-ups? Is that what you're saying? Anytime you see these people, sexual fetishes going on, rather if it's a swingers group, a BDSM group, furries, there's a shit ton of conservatives in those groups. That's why they're moving so much. It's a shit ton of successful conservatives in those groups. CK done hit me with a $5 super chat. You know what I do for them butter biscuits. No, I mean, anytime you see anybody with a fetish like that, or these fetish groups, it's more conservatives in those groups than there are liberals. Why do you think it became so palatable for Blair White to become a conservative? Why do you think it's so palatable for Jeffree Star to speak conservative talking points? It's a lot of conservatives that go for that kind of thing. Brooklyn, Lou, just a short description of what a furry is. People who dress up in costumes of animals. A lot of them look like they're dressed up as like mascots for some kind of team. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, CK. You're watching Charleston, South Carolina from around the corner in Goose Creek. Yeah. But, you know, it is what it is. They dress like animals, and some of the parties get pretty crazy. And it's a lot of, especially in those swingers clubs, it's a lot of successful conservatives in there. But here's the thing. I don't think that you guys should be blaming Nick Fuentes for what happened to Charlie Kirk. No, we shouldn't. Because Nick Fuentes, whether we love him or hate him for what he says, he's still speaking. He's still practicing freedom of speech. Charlie Kirk will still practice a freedom of speech. So, no, I don't think that somebody should be deleted for their views. I'm not celebrating it, but I'm not mourning. I'm not celebrating it, but I'm not mourning. Isn't Blair White's husband a conservative? Blair White, let me see if I can find a picture of Blair White. Isn't Blair White's husband a conservative, a boyfriend, or whatever they got going on over there? Let me see if I can find her picture here real quick. And I'm saying her because I don't want you guys accusing me of misgendering. I know that's a big thing with the left. Oh, you misgendered me. I don't want to misgender. I'm going to show you your respect. Let me see here. Yeah, so I mean, come on now. We can't say because the person was trans was why they did it or whatnot. Because if that was the case, Blair White and Blair White's husband would have something bad to say about Charlie Kirk. Let's see here. She would have addressed his rhetoric before now. She's a biologically born man. She's trans. She's conservative. Is she dangerous? I'm curious to know. What up, Donna Brown? How's it going? So you mean to tell me that trans don't exist in conservative movements? This woman makes conservative content. Jeffree Star, who was championed by the LGBTQ community, jumped on Fox News and was spinning right-wing talking points. And she's still championed by the LGBTQ community. She makes the best makeup, or he makes the best makeup. I don't know. Listen, I don't mean to try to misgender anybody. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it is what it is. I'm not being woke. I'm being respectful. So you think that trans is just something that's limited to the left? But yeah, a lot of y'all are blaming Nick Fuentes, and I'm seeing how people who are spewing the Groyper rhetoric are now on the same side as Charlie Kirk. Isn't that something strange? Because before Wednesday, Charlie Kirk was everything fucked up under the sun to these Groypers. 2 weeks ago, they were talking about, they were all about Nick Fuentes and owning Charlie Kirk, and now they're toning down on their rhetoric. Let me see if I can find that video on Twitter X here real quick. Yeah, they're toning down their rhetoric now. They're toning down the rhetoric. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is right here. Let me blow this up. Listen to how the rhetoric changed. Listen to how the rhetoric changed, y'all. Because I can't make this up. I'm going to give you guys this in full screen, man.
We had our disagreements. Where we did agree is that he would go to these college campuses and proclaim the name of Jesus Christ. And ultimately, that is why he was killed. The gunmen that killed him, they hated him because of his defense of Christian morality. Charlie Kirk cannot call himself a Christian anymore. Sorry, you forfeited that. I do not want to hear, and you cannot allow Charlie Kirk to go to one more public event, one more question and answer, one more ask me anything, without being protested, without being shouted down, without being interrogated about this. This guy goes around from campus to campus in the most artificial and phony and fake way, talking about, oh, God made me very blessed that I control $500 million. Oh, I'm so blessed. I'm so rich and I'm so blessed. And oh, God's been so good to me. I'm such a Christian. Oh, the Lord gave me the Sabbath. I take Saturday off. You sit there and call yourself a Christian and then you make excuses for the genocide of 2 million people? Seriously? You stand there and purport to be an evangelist like Billy Graham? Oh, you're the latest Billy Graham? You're our generation's America's pastor? Why? Because you said the right words? Because you said, God bless, God bless. God bless, my friend. Oh, I rebuke the devil in the name of Jesus. And then you go around from campus to campus making excuses for a famine?
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all not hear that? Did we just not see Nick Fuentes kiss the ring? And he's now fighting tooth and nail to not be tied into the Charlie Kirk murder. I mean, if freedom of speech is in question here, then we can just listen to the rhetoric that he's been spewing about Charlie Kirk and make an assumption. It would be a foolish assumption, but people can make an assumption. It were just more than the leftists who harbored strong feelings of resentment towards Charlie Kirk. It's more than just the leftists who holds contempt for Charlie Kirk for his positions with Israel, as we heard Nick Fuentes say. The left has not been vocal about their disdain for Israel as much as the Groyper's been vocal about their disdain for Israel. But what I find to be ironic is that Ben Shapiro is taking over TPUSA. I find it ironic. He said that he's going to continue the college debates, and we all know that he's going to be unapologetically bigoted. This is the same Ben Shapiro that is pushing for the pardoning of Derek Chauvin. And with Ben Shapiro taking the reins, this is going to tone down the Groyper rhetoric about Israel. Ben Shapiro would never be as powerful as Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk appealed to the youth. Charlie Kirk claimed to be a Christian, and Charlie Kirk was never rejected from conservative media like Ben Shapiro recently was when he gave Candace Owens her walking papers. They have to make a move against the Groyper movement because the Groyper movement was gaining too much traction. The Groyper movement could not be controlled, and it wasn't paid for by billionaire oligarchs like TPUSA was. It was some serious money invested in Charlie Kirk, by the way. It was some serious money invested in TPUSA, by the way. Nick and Ben have the same voice. They must have had the same acting coach, right? Yeah, Ben Shapiro cannot take Charlie Kirk's place. So basically what happened to Charlie Kirk last week, it was something that needed to happen for Conservative Inc. to take the reins and weaken the Groyper movement. Because I'm going to tell you guys something. When Donald Trump leaves office, rather if his health gets the better of him before he finishes, or he serves out his 4 years and everybody's disgusted with MAGA, the Republican Party is going to get boring again. See, the only reason that the Republican Party is trendy now is because of Donald Trump. He brought rock star politics into the arena. But any ordinary politician can't do what Donald Trump did. That's how it appealed to the young kids. But after Donald Trump leaves office, whether he has to step down for health conditions or he serves his full term out, the MAGA movement is going to be something that's going to be looked at with disdain. Politicians in the future, that's going to be something that's going to work against them when they're in debates. You're a part of MAGA. And that's going to be a stain on somebody's record. Donald Trump ain't going to be the cool person to latch onto his coattail anymore. And we're going to go back to the George Bush days of conservatism, and I can't wait. I can't wait till politics get boring again, until the world moves on from this bullshit. People affiliated with the MAGA movement, people who are affiliated with the MAGA movement, it's about to go down, man. It's about to go down. Donald Trump's going to fuck the Republican Party up. We'd be lucky if we saw a Republican president for the next 60 years. We'd be lucky. There's not going to be a Republican president getting in office in 2028. Scratch that off the books. It's not going to happen. And if Trump is screwing up this bad in his first year back in office, then just imagine what America's going to look like after 3 more years. Just imagine. The Republican Party is looking to cultivate the younger generation, currently 23 to 45-year-olds, to lead the party. The problem is too many neo-Nazi pinheads have hijacked the party. Exactly. And Charlie Kirk was one of them. Charlie Kirk was one of them. I'm a registered Republican, and I'm going to tell you that I will never see another Republican president in my lifetime after Donald Trump. If I live to be 70 years old, which is the life expectancy for men in this area of the world, if I were to live to see 70 years old, I won't see another Republican president in that time. And all of you people who are saying that Charlie Kirk was not a Nazi, then just listen to his rhetoric. Read the damn Nazi, what are those? What do they call those? Those manifestos. One was very popular, by the way. The next president is going to be on an apology tour like Obama all around the world. Exactly. You're going to see probably in 2026, the Republican Party is going to be in a bigger split than it's in right now. The way Charlie Kirk sensationalized people is a play straight out of the Nazi playbook. These people over here are the problem. Us white folks are victims of a system that these people over here run. What do you do when you do that? You get somebody geeked up and they go out doing acts of domestic terror. Someone calling someone a moron while they can't even formulate a sentence in my chat room. Crockett, if a moron, she's an idiot and would not get a single vote. She's a good rat. Nobody's caping for Crockett over here, homeboy. Are you a Christian? It depends on what kind of Christian are you asking for. If you're asking for a fuckboy Christian, no, I'm not. There's too many fuckboy Christians out there on the right and on the left. I'm not a fuckboy Christian. There's a lot of fuckboy Christians out there. So if you're asking me to be a fuckboy Christian, then I can't do that. Are you religious? Yes or no? Is that any of your business? Yes or no? My spiritual beliefs are mine. They're personal. I don't deal with fuckboy Christians. There's a lot of fuckboy Christians out there. We got to love and pray for our enemies. Bullshit. Bullshit. He spoke like George Lincoln Rockwell from the 60s. He sure did. Hey, 7N, thank you for the super chat. You know what I do for them butter biscuits, and you are on point with that super chat. My good friend. I'm not giving you any more of time. Have a good life. But you gave me your time. Stupid motherfucker. You gave me your time for free. Motherfuckers are sending me super chats and cash apps. And you up in here for free. Who's winning here? Who's winning here? Oh, did you think you were going to witness to me? Have me be submissive to you? And submissive to whatever it is you want me to believe? Is that what you thought? You got the wrong motherfucker. Do you believe in Jesus? Okay, then. Then go after these motherfuckers who are making threats on black churches this morning. Go after them. Make them Make a list of those motherfuckers to send a Kash Patel and Donald Trump to go after. Uh-oh, got a membership. Got a membership. Welcome to bad company. Welcome to bad company. Welcome to bad company. Everybody, welcome this man to bad company. Notre Dame, welcome to bad company. We got a community here. We got a community. Bad company is a community. We are a community. We're not well, you could be a conservative. You could be liberal. As long as you're American Constitution first, welcome to bad company. We're not cucks. I don't want cucks in my circle. I don't want cucks who go along to get along in my circle. Even if you got to call out your own party, political party, God damn it, you do it and you stand on it. Do you celebrate his death? I don't celebrate nobody's death, but I damn sure ain't mourning today. You want me to mourn for a fucking bigot? Fuck you. Fuck you. That's all I can say. Charlie Kirk never celebrated anybody's death? Really? So he didn't go out there trying to make all those fucked up claims about Ahmaud Arbery? He didn't? Did he show empathy towards Ahmaud Arbery's family? George and Malcolm X both agreed. I ain't going to say that out loud, but thank you for the butter biscuits. Family, I would love to have you on my channel to discuss this. Of course, totally disagree, but we can be civil. Hey, Sub, I was on the... Oh, and thank you guys for the butter biscuits. Hey, Sub, I was on the phone Friday night with somebody who told me that they don't want to hang out with me anymore after we've been friends since middle school because of my YouTube channel and what I say on YouTube. What up, Wayne? How's it going? Good to see you here. And the way I look at it, when you called in, I was on the phone with him explaining my case, and it was just like going over his head. So, Sub, I'm going to have to say this because I do consider you a friend. We're going to have to agree to disagree. We're just going to have to agree to disagree. There's nothing to discuss there, man. We're just going to have to agree to disagree. I'm not going to debate my stance here. I'm just going to have to agree to disagree. He was a human being and someone took his life for being honest about his beliefs, regardless of how you feel about him. He didn't deserve death. We're all going to die one day. We're all going to die one day. I'm not exempt from it. You're not exempt from it. We're all going to die one day. I mean, did Charlie Kirk have any sympathy or empathy for Ahmaud Arbery when he put all that on blast? Family still grieving, calling Ahmaud Arbery a criminal when two saltine savages hunted him down. The man was just over in that neighborhood getting some pussy. There's no need to ask or question him. Why was he there? We live in America. You could be anywhere you want to be. That's not up for debate. The man was over there getting some pussy. Please start with the debates as lame and solves nothing at the same time. Right. Oh, I'm having a damn good Sunday. And if Charlie Kirk preached such a peaceful message, then why do we have so many troglodytes out here? that are threatening to shoot up black churches this morning? Why do we have troglodytes threatening Democratic lawmakers? His message was about peace. Why are these people ready to go to war with black Christians? Are you going to say black Christianity is under attack, or Christianity is under attack when it's a black church? Oh, Christianity is only under attack when it's a white church, and when it's a minority or somebody from a marginalized group that shoots up the church. Was Christianity under attack when this Saltine Savage decided to walk over here in Charleston, South Carolina, into a black church that welcomed him with open arms? Was Christianity under attack then? Was it? Was Christianity under attack? And see, the reason I don't do debates, I consider Sub-Zero to be a friend of mine. I don't want it to get personal because it will. It will get personal for me because I was close to the Ahmaud Arbery family. And I'm not going to sit here and try. That's not even up for debate to me. That's not even up for debate to me. It's not. To make light of that man's death and he was just there walking in the neighborhood and people want to ask, why was he there? If it wasn't for the Ahmaud Arbery case, I would have never opened this YouTube channel up for anything other than gun videos. And I love it when these dumb troglodytes come into the room. Please, I'd like to hear one example of when Charlie Kirk spread hate. I could have several, and you would just damn move the goalpost. And then you would tell me once I tell you, oh, see, you taking it out of context. And then when I get tired of damn chasing your forever changing goalpost, then you're going to turn around and hit me with something racist. I know the game because I played the game. Did you forget about this? For those of you who are new to this channel, did you forget something here? Did you forget what made me popular in the first place? Did you forget what made me popular in the first place? This is what made me popular in the first place. This is what I would do to play the same game that you're playing right now. This is what made me popular. And I would play the same game that you're playing right now. And I mastered that game. I know how to change the goalpost. I know how to make you lose your damn cool. I know how to play stupid. I know how to gaslight you. That was one benefit of growing up around white folks. I learned their psychology. I learned your psychology. It doesn't work on me. I write the books. I could give lectures all day, every day on how to be a damn black conservative on social media and make a shit ton of money. And it doesn't take much to get popular. Oh, so you're just taking it out of context. Separate your emotions and apply some logic here. And what does that do? That's called dog whistling to people who are going to say something more horrible than the way I scholastically laid it out there for you. Charlie Kirk was too much of a bootlicker to be a Confederate. Anytime I see somebody flying a Confederate flag and claiming to be a Republican, I see a bootlicker. If you knew the history behind the Civil War, you can't be a Confederate and a Republican at the same time. You feel me? You can't be you because especially you can't say that Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves and say that you're about the Constitution and claim to be a Republican at the same time flying a rebel flag. You can't do it because Abraham Lincoln acted out. So it was about freeing the slaves. Then silly you. If it was about freeing the slaves, you would think that if someone made a war effort unconstitutionally to free a group of people, then they would also make an effort to have these people, what's the word I'm looking for, conditioned to live in a free society. That never happened. So if you're claiming to be a Confederate and you're screaming war of Northern aggression, you can't claim to be a Republican at the same time. You can't. Well, good night looking for money on the tails of someone's death. Isn't that what Charlie Kirk did? Is that not what Charlie Kirk did when he was giving controversial takes on the Ahmaud Arbery case, the George Floyd case, the Breonna Taylor case? Is that not what he was doing? Motherfuckers was paying him to say that shit. Don't look at me as the DEI hire of conservative media. No. I'm showing that I'm equally qualified to rage bait on someone else's death. So don't look at me as a DEI hire. I'm showing that I'm equally qualified to rage bait on someone else's death. It's you who want to discriminate against me. At least you don't get paid like Charlie. I wish I was. Sad for his kids, but the far right of Fox News is going way overboard, acting like he was the second coming of Billy Graham, a biblical figure, right? You think you can offend me? You forgot. You forgot I'm the master troll. Better stop playing with me. I just got an opinion. I'm only speaking words. And see, here we go. Here comes another Charlie Kirk fan. And this is a message, the man who preaches love and acceptance. Then why does his followers talk like this? Y'all only give me ammunition when you respond to me. God damn, it feels great. Yeah, I ain't gonna be debating this topic. I spoke my piece here, and that's all I gotta say. I feel sad for his wife and kids, but other than that, I do not know how much Charlie. I don't know too much about Charlie to mourn for him, but from what I have heard about him, it doesn't sound good. I'll tell you what, his wife's gonna be okay, man. She's young and pretty. She's young and pretty. She's gonna be all right. You don't think that there's gonna be some people checking her out at the funeral? I mean, she could legally remarry. She could get remarried tomorrow. She could get remarried tomorrow. Get educated. I feel sorry for the woke people like you. Get educated. Well, how would I get educated? I'm going to follow Charlie Kirk's lead. I can't go to college because college is a scam. College is a scam. So how do you expect me to get educated if college is a scam? Charlie Kirk's words, not mine. To be honest, you're showing more free speech in the chat than the most so-called conservatives allow folks to talk. If roles were reversed, they would have banned you just for having an opposing opinion. Hey, I'm all about freedom of speech. You are a horrible human being. You are nothing like the great and wonderful man Charlie Kirk was. You're so full of hate. If somebody shoots me down today, nobody's going to be threatening to shoot up white churches. If I was as popular as Charlie Kirk, the message that I preach won't resonate with people who hate white people. The message won't resonate with hate groups. Why does Charlie Kirk message resonate with hate groups? And see, we got somebody spelling out the N-word in my chat room. But Charlie Kirk was a man full of love. I feel sorry for his mother for having to give birth to that skull 31 years ago. Wow. See, I didn't say that. Somebody else said that. Yeah, empathy is a weakness. That's that what Charlie Kirk said? I tell you what, instead of trying to get people fired from their jobs in this economy, why don't we comprise a list of the unemployed people and find them jobs? Can we do that? I mean, we're deporting illegal immigrants. So there's a whole lot of job openings that are coming available for American citizens. So let's find that list of the 50,000 people that Donald Trump wants to punish for celebrating Charlie Kirk's death and get these people jobs. Smash that like button, people. Why don't we do just that? Oh, that was very liberal of you to say. Instead of addressing my talking points, you worried about that I'm vaping and I'm overweight and with a beard. Look like a teenager. Come on, that's an ad hominem attack. That's not good debate decorum. You're misrepresenting your Lord and Savior, Charlie Kirk. At least Charlie Kirk was good with his debates. Damn, it feels good to troll these motherfuckers. But your beard is blue, you're vaping, and you're overweight. That's a liberal argument. That's called an ad hominem attack. Can't get no better than that. But like I say, speaking of being overweight, I got to do my meal prep for the week, and I got to get ready for the gym tomorrow. So that way you don't have anything to say about my weight in about 4 months. Sounds like a deal? Sounds like a deal? Conservatives lost the culture war. Yes. Thank you for everybody who donated today. You guys have a wonderful rest of the day. Until the next time, I'll see you guys on tomorrow. Peace.